All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Full throttle. This is our last training session for I don't know till when. This was full throttle for the first quarter, and this is it tonight. Everybody should have watched the other full throttle briefs up until now, and should be all caught up to speed. You should have used the weekend, or if you're new, I'll show you where to get up to speed with everything. But what an epic day in the markets, which we'll talk about, because tonight we're actually going to talk about, you ready for this? And it's going to even creep me out to say getting long, or when we're going to be long-term bullish, which, I mean, folks, you just absolutely have to be. So here's what I did today. Placed some bearish trades as the market rallied, fell, and then you know what I did? I went to the pool. We went to the pool, hung out, and I turned off. There's no sense to look at something like that. Is anybody a little worried or anything like that? And it's funny that all the news programs are leading with what? And the president said it too. You guys know, because I have it memorialized that you can put on my gravestone. Great movie. Love Doc Holliday. Where's my COVID crash? There's my COVID crash folder. I actually have a folder called COVID crash. Everybody knows this famous tweet, but I'm going, because this is just, he did it again tonight. You would have thought that he would have learned, but there it is right here, folks. That Friday that the market had a short squeeze going into it, he started this press conference 30 minutes late, dragged it out, and after the market closed, he's no dummy. He said it's crappy stuff. The next morning, look at that. Biggest stock market rise in history yesterday. Within an hour of that tweet, Vice President Pence was on the stage shutting down Great Britain, shutting down England, shutting down the country. If you're an American, you can maybe make it back home. Before, it wasn't even 24 hours since that press conference when it literally imploded. The guy deleted this tweet, and Monday was that 3,000 point down day. Does the man not know how stupid he is when he does that? It's horrible. And he like led the press conference tonight with the biggest point rise of any in history. What? David, I'm seeing numbers all over the place. Some people, again, I'm technically not on the clock until this thing starts, but I've been answering questions and got my glass of Pinot Grigio. Dude, I'm seeing 1.5 million Thursday morning. I'm seeing as high as 3 million Thursday morning. I can't even believe we're talking about this. I'm talking weekly unemployment claims, guys. Weekly unemployment claims. So let me give you, like we do in all, so if you're relatively new, I think we're shut down. I think they took down just about everything, man. We're not, so there shouldn't be super newish people. Underneath member content, you got to go to Full Throttle. Very proud of what's going on in the Afterburner group. Way too many Air Force guys. So I'm trying to balance that out with normal people who aren't barely on our side, like the Air Force guys. But no, they're like, dude, got in here, buried my face in these videos all day Sunday, in the manuals, up to speed, ready to go. That's the attitude you have to have, folks. A lot of military guys here now, and they get this. Right? So you have to too. You don't have to have former military experience or currently be in the military to get our mentalities. Trading is a form of combat, folks. Somebody's going to win and somebody's going to get their asses handed to them. I don't know if you've been keeping up on current events, man, but we just got our asses kicked. We didn't. For everybody who got their ass kicked, there was an ass kicker, and we got some big size 12 boots here. Okay? So you have got to approach this as that. Okay, so tonight we do training, and as in the military, I never did like a big training exercise without any real world application, right? We never went, all right, let's just go do this today. Why not? Let's go burn some gas. No, it was, hey, here's the scenario. Country orange and country yellow are this and that, and we brief these big things, and that's why we train. So tonight we will do training, and Thomas walked through them between long walks. Good for you. Chris, think the market is pricing in the horrible unemployment claims. Oh my God, no. Folks, I've been on the phone, I've been conference calls, went for a walk on the beach. There was like one human on the beach. Well, and then the cops yelled at me because the beaches are closed in Boca. God no, man. These. Well, here's what's funny. If it's less than 3 million, do we all go, whoo, and the market rallies? How many of you think that, folks, I can't even, it's going to be shocking. Look at this. Where's Thursday? Last week's weekly unemployment claims, 281,000. That's 1.5. They're forecasting 1.5 million. That's the consensus forecast, folks. And that's what? That's on the low side. I am seeing 3 million from whoever it was. Gold. Everybody's all over. Nobody knows, folks. This is what's funny. I don't know. It could be one unemployment. Who knows? But it's interesting to see, again, on social media, getting the whole, Wiz, you were wrong. Biggest rise in market history. On what? The bailout. It ain't signed. You know what they're held up about right now? Abortion. The domestic enemies of the United States are putting abortion shit, Planned Parenthood, in a bailout package. Solar credits, diversity in boardrooms, the post office. It's a disgrace. Donald Trump is failing. I would grab all 1,400 pages, sit in an Oval Office address, and read all the crap that's in it. We're bankrupting our country, and the Democrats are dancing on our grave. Donald Trump got impeached for allegedly withholding aid to Ukraine. Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer are withholding aid to America. That's where we are. Let me get back to the markets. So the market rallied today on what? On hopes? Folks, this was trading today. You don't get to look at the chart. I love these days. Look at this, guys. Look at the chart. I love these days where we get like some sort of massive pop and everybody goes, ha, and they're destroyed. They don't ever tell me I was right. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. What did I draw today in the brief, folks? I said the easy money's been made, and what did Uncle Wiz do right here? I did that shit. That's what's going to happen. This will be challenging. I am going to have conflicting trades on. You could have puts on Boeing and calls. This is going to be bipolar. Well, you know what? Let me start with this first. Here's step 0 right now. If you just showed up. Step 0 right now, folks, is do nothing. I'm getting these desperate emails from people like, I'm down to my last whatever and I need your help. I'm like, here's how I'm going to help you. No, I'm not going to do anything for you. You have to sit in that cash and do nothing. If you're going to revenge trade right now, you're going to go broke. I'm not kidding you. Don't do anything if you're not prepared for this or for red. I'm so used to this by now. I'm like, there goes the market up. I'm leaving. I don't day trade, folks. I can't wait for this to be over. I should be at Aspen right now, and I'm here. I can't wait for this to be over so I can get back to my normal Top Gun options routine of working maybe an hour a day. That's it. I'm telling you right now, folks, sit in cash if you don't have the Tums available for this. It's going to be all over the place. But many of you have probably heard the Wizism or the Wall Streetism of buy the rumor, sell the news. The market went up on the rumor of a deal. This is why retail traders hate Wall Street. I'm going to wait until they approve this package, and then I'm going to get into the market. Down 2,000 points. What? Everybody I talk to this was a trade today, folks, and a short squeeze. Okay, so I'm telling you, I'll repeat myself from today. Yeah, 70 cent in cash is great. Okay, you can day trade like a mofo. I can't stand it. I don't day trade. Here, I have to a little bit just because it's so juicy or something like that. I'm like, and it's going to sell right there, and there it goes, and I'm out. And then I'm done for the day. I will not day trade. I'm not doing day trading briefs or anything like that. On the Afterburner thread, we're all talking and shooting the shit, and I was typing on at the pool and everything like that. But I'm talking. We'll get to the VIX in a couple minutes, guys. That should be a little bit of an indicator about what's going on. Donald Trump doesn't talk about the VIX. Huge, best day ever, biggest point gain ever, history. Huge, believe me. Oh, and by the way, cases are doubling exponentially by the minute in New York City. It's a hot spot. Before I forget, I'll do my best Edith and Harry impersonation. So we're at the pool, the Boca Raton Resort, members only. There's like 30 people there, spread out over like a mile. I mean, nobody's even near each other. But Edith and Harry and their bridge club, it looked like, of course, talk loud enough for you to hear them a mile away. Did you hear DeSantis? DeSantis is shutting down the government. You can't fly in from New York or New Jersey or Philly. I told our kids, I'm like, get in the car, get down here. They're leaving tonight. I'm like, son of a bitch. That's the problem, folks. I told you a month ago, I'm like, man, we might see National Guard or federal troops on the bridges of the boroughs and shut down New York. We laughed. I love this movie. It was like an 80s movie, right? 90s. Escape from New York with Kurt Russell, Snake Plissken. Write that down and watch that movie tonight. Loved Escape from New York. So here's what happens. When you squeeze New York City, it was like sand at the beach. The tighter you squeeze New York City, you people can't leave your house. They're leaving. Are there cops? Are there National Guard troops on the boroughs right now leaving? These people, Harry's like, Edith is right. I think it's a 12-hour drive. They'll be here tomorrow. I'm like, effing fantastic. And am I blaming the people from New York City? Yes, I am. But guess what? If I was in New York City right now, I'd grab my guns, my wife, my kids, my gold, my cash, and I'd be in Montana. Thank you, Jeffrey. Jeffrey gets the first gold star of the night, and that's why they dug up the roads around Wuhan. You think I'm shitting you, folks? I've been briefing this for 2 months. We are in a world of hurt in this country. We're not going Wuhan on New York City. Wuhan is 1.5 New York City. It's 11 million people, 12 million people. They went medieval. You need to, all new members, if you haven't been here for a month or two, my God, sitting in quarantine, go back and watch my briefs. We showed all the videos. This one dude ran around on a scooter. He went to the 5 hospitals in Wuhan. He's dead now. 5 hospitals, and filmed what was going on. People, crowded, masks. Dude drops. Guys walk up with a sheet, cover him. Dragging bodies out of the street, going right to the crematoriums, and ash over the city. They knew what this was, folks. They knew how horrific it is. We're talking about opening the country. Last night, the president said March 31st, a week from now, we're going to make a decision. Today, it's Easter. In the blink of an eye overnight, the dude went from, we're opening, man. I actually had people today like, did you see the press conference last night? I'm going out. We're going to work. I'm like, oh, my God. Ladies and gentlemen, Governor Cuomo, did everybody, if you didn't watch this, you owe me 50 push-ups. If you did not watch, I caught so much shit on my Facebook page today about the Cuomo thing. This is a must. It's not 54 minutes, folks. I didn't watch the reporter's questions. It's up to 34 minutes, and then he starts taking questions. If you did not watch this today, you failed. David, I watched your Feb 10th brief. It was amazing. It was pre-crash prediction of amazing. Oh, thank you. I'll put this in a chat box. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you have got to watch this. This is not negotiable. The highlights, folks. This is doubling. Here we go. More than 21,000 people infected in the state, but New York City, where is it? New York has more cases than South Korea, France, or Switzerland. Where's the bed stuff? Oh, wait. Shit. Here it is. Let me give you the Cliff Notes. I don't want you to just listen to these Cliff Notes. Listen to me. This was absolute. Donald Trump, I'm telling you, man, this might have ended his presidency. And did you see that awful clip on Fox, the president kind of sniping at Cuomo during his little town hall out in the Rose Garden? I posted it on my Facebook page because I guarantee you the president watched this and he was like, shit. It was awesome. I can't stand Cuomo. Tax and spend, liberal, anti-gun, anti-Second Amendment, pro-abortion. He could not be more for everything I could not be more against. I'm a political science guy. I read the markets. I read people. It was fantastic. It's almost like it's like my 9/11 when I'm talking to regular people, and I'm like, 9/11 was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. They're like, oh my God. I'm like, it was brilliant in its execution. Some first class tickets and a box cutter and some flight training in a simulator. 3,000 Americans dead, trillions and terror. It was brilliant. This was brilliant. Let's go to what he said because it's awful. The rate of infections is doubling every 3 days, and this is already old. If you didn't sleep through stats class like I did in college, it was 6 at night, and I was usually drunk from nickel beer night, which started at 5. That is a dramatic increase in the rate of infection. We're not slowing it, and it's accelerating on its own. I only wish I'd gone to 100% cash like you suggested. I Paul revered it, man. I tried. Como says projections to New York will need up to, listen to this, 140,000 beds and has how many? 53,000. There will be a need, you ready for this, guys? 40,000 ICU beds and ventilators. How many do they have in the state? 3 to 4,000. I'm letting those numbers sink in. You still don't get, most of you get it. I'm trying to talk to people and they're like, Trump and he's the best. I'm like, you're an idiot. Your inverted Trump derangement syndrome blinds you. Let's go. The peak of the pandemic, listen to me. He's saying the worst is going to come in 2 to 3 weeks. One of the forecasters told me we were looking at a freight train coming across America. We are now looking at a bullet train. Did you see? Hopefully you watched the replay today. I stayed on and we watched this for an extra 30 minutes. I couldn't write down quick enough the historic changing moments. He said he was Italy. So I use the analogy that we've been in a conga line. China sick, Japan, South Korea, Singapore. We're all on a conga line. France, Italy drops dead. Governor Como today said he sounded like Italy. Italy's been telling us, you're 2 to 3 weeks behind us. We're from the Italy future guy, and we're telling you. Como just said this. He's like, hey, America, you're us in a couple weeks unless you knock it off. This was stunning today. We need a minimum an additional 30,000 ventilators. You can't buy them. You can't find them. God almighty, read this. We use one ventilator for 2 patients. Right? Absolutely insane. Angela, still have not gotten a full throttle text. I think I sent 2 texts out this week, guys. All this stuff is happening in the live brief, so I'm not going to stop in the middle of the live brief to send out the text. I fired a couple, and I fired a couple just emails because sometimes the text with so many people, that thing hiccups. I don't like it. Email alerts. He on the screen, folks, said, you ready for this? 300 ventilators. We need 30,000. This is going to get medieval. Absolutely medieval, folks. I can't even, I shudder when I read this. If we don't have the ventilators in 14 days, it does us no good. Not to exercise that power is inexplicable to me. What's he talking about? The DPA, the Defense Production Act. The president, because he's controlled by big business, I would say if I was a Democrat, has not done this yet. He should have done this. I don't want to be president. He's a month behind everything I said he should have done. He should have done this last week. The DPA is invoked, kick open the factory doors, and seize their shit. That's coming from me, libertarian, anti-government, leave me alone guy. The Constitution, ladies and gentlemen, is not a suicide pact. Yay, we adhered to everything, and now we're all dead. But the Constitution's living in Washington by itself in a little hermetically sealed box. If we don't have the ventilators in 14 days, it does us no good. He just laid down a marker. So if there's a lot more deaths, a big spear is going to land right in Donald Trump's chest from Andrew Cuomo. I got it, guys. Elon Musk and GE and everybody's starting to make them great, and they'll be delivered by the mid to end of April. Fucking yay. We have to scale this up because the factories we know that they weren't to build to produce them. I can't even. We got to move on. Did you hear what's her name? Dr. Burke said 31% of the cases in this country, I think, are from New York City. It's blowing up. I warned you. I swear to God, I warned you. And now New Yorkers are fleeing. Where are they fleeing? Where are New Yorkers from? Everywhere. Yeah, you can have been born in New York, but guess where they're coming? Boca, Montana. One person, he's like, oh, Nebraska. Why would we shut down Nebraska? Keep their economies open. No offense to Nebraska. I've been there. I've gotten gas in Lincoln. I looked around. I'm like, I could shoot a gun and hit somebody 20 states away. Oil up there? You get one person infected in Nebraska. I did the math today. One infects 3, infects 9, infects 27, and then the math just takes off. All right, that's enough. Watch the video because we got to go and move on stuff. Brazil's imploding. It's going to be an absolute horror. Yeah, JC. So his press conference tonight, first of all, was the shortest ever, and Fauci was on the stage, and he was in the shot. I know how all this works. The packaging. They did the unified thing tonight. If you think that between yesterday and today, Dr. Fauci and Donald Trump made up, you're an idiot, right? And it was very, very quick. Fauci's a communist. No idea what his political leanings are, and I really don't care. I think he's speaking the truth. Does anybody think Dr. Fauci's lying? He's a communist? Love to know your sources. Let me know why he's a communist. Fauci looks very pissed off. As we sleep, China's taking over the Pacific. Nothing new there. So here we are. And then we're going to talk about getting bullish, okay? Because I'm not going to he is the smartest person on the stage. So here's the deal. Donald Trump is a businessman. I'm a businessman. He's looking at a P&L statement. He's looking at profit and loss. Ain't no profit, a hell of a lot of losses right now. I get what he's trying to do. The economic, and I am furious with the president for doing this. I'm starting Top Gun Fighter Foundation, folks. How dare the president of the United States get up on stage and say if the economy gets worse, suicides are going to increase? Are you fucking stupid? Wow, if it really gets worse and people really get worse, they're probably going to kill themselves. Are you dumb, Mr. President? The dumbest thing I've heard from that guy, and it's a lot. You're a veteran looking at your commander in chief. You know what? Pfft, dude's right. This ain't going to get any better. Bang. You don't joke about suicide, and you don't suggest that people might start committing suicide because of economic misfortune. He's a disgrace. He's furious about that. It's awful. Furious. And Pence. See, I could never. If I was standing on stage, I wouldn't have grabbed him because they would have shot me, the Secret Service agents. I would have said, he didn't mean that, and if you need help, here's the 800 number. He's an idiot. And then I would have resigned and walked out of the White House. What a disgrace, Donald Trump. Kathy, it doesn't matter if it's the truth, ladies and gentlemen. Do I look fat in these jeans? Yeah, you look fat in these jeans. That helps. Of course, economic hardship is going to bring people down, but the president of the United States has a bully pulpit. Start blowing sunshine and lollipops with a measured tone. All he's been doing, ladies and gentlemen, is blowing sunshine up your ass since January 22nd, the famous interview that I will never forget because we made millionaires off of it. I trust you and the coronavirus under control. Why you even ask me about this stupid virus? Here we are now. Yeah, people might shoot themselves. Disgraceful comments out of the President of the United States. We don't pass a stimulus bill and don't get people back to work, they're going to kill themselves. Just because something's true doesn't mean you have to say it. Not happy at all with that. As a guy trying to help people not commit suicide, that's bad. Anyway, man, so you ready for this? I'm actually demonstrating what's about to happen in the market. Good segue, Wiz. I know this isn't my first rodeo. What's the segue? I'm starting to get, and this is bad, man, I'm starting to get COVID fatigue. Maybe the market is too. I told you folks that we will get to the point. Doesn't matter if Como does another press conference tomorrow. We have 8.3 million people that I'm going to be like, all right, sucks to be New York. What about me? That's what we're getting to, man. The market, ladies and gentlemen, is forward looking. That's how you know buy the rumor, sell the news. How do you know? They bought it. The forward look today was what? Yeah, let's fund Planned Parenthood, because during a national pandemic, who doesn't want abortions? Disgraceful human being. So, yeah, he probably meant the little people only kill themselves. David, I agree. Whoever said he was a communist, I just, hopefully that was a joke. Yeah, he's been the head of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases since '84. Who's the president in '84? People who keep saying he's a Clinton and Obama, whatever. He's been a whatever holdover for the whole time. All right, so enough. Here's what I'm getting at. Again, I have to say this to people who are relatively new. This was probably the easiest money I've ever made in my life. And that's my Gordon Gekko coming out. For all the idiots who did this, or actually it used to look like that before this happened, you want to talk about flattening the curve? That flattened the curve. So there was a seller, and there was people like me. I was on my horse riding across this country telling you they were lying to us, and this is what's coming. If you didn't listen, that's your fault. But this was the easiest money. The next time is going to be easy money is right here. What's that date? I don't freaking know. I've told you 4 things of when I'd start looking to buy with both hands. Go watch the other videos if you don't know what they are. This is going to be interesting, and you saw day 1 of it. I don't even know if we're going to remember this Tuesday afternoon rally when we get unemployment numbers Thursday morning, and I don't know what the market's going to do, guys. Maybe it rallies. Hey, there was only 2.9 million people that filed, not 3. Yay, bullishness. I don't know what it's going to do, folks. My gut and everybody I've talked to is can't even believe what's about to happen. I warned you, folks, when the macroeconomic data gets worse. So I did this to my afterburner, folks, and then I said this. There will be another leg down. I think. Why? On all this bad data. If you got a calendar in front of you, you know what's going to happen in a week. April Fools, probably the worst April Fools ever in our Republic history. But no, Q1 earnings are going to start. How can you be Apple on an earnings call? I can't even, it's going to be staggering. Earnings calls are broken up into half, guys. This is why some of you lose money around earnings. Wiz, I was right. This earnings call is going great. Their last quarter was fantastic. I can't believe the stock's up after hours. That's great. And now their forward look is awful, and the stock just went down 20%. Yep, that's why I don't trade earnings. So earnings calls, folks, are usually broken up in half. Here's how we did, and here's what we're looking to do. What did I tell you guys? Where's all my old people, so to speak? How about the earnings calls last time? What did we do around here, ladies and gentlemen? Remember the Apple earnings call? I called it a 95.5. Do you remember this? Go watch the replays. This was epic. I'm Ricky. That was a Ricky Bobby moment. 95% of that call was looking backwards, and it was fantastic. I've never seen better earnings out of Apple in the history of man. It was epic. That was 95% of the call. You know why? Because this COVID thing had just started. 5% of the call, a bunch of reporters were like, hey, what do you think this COVID thing and the disease in China and it's really shutting down? They're like, that's interesting. Well, we'll take a look at it. But did you see how many iPods we sold or whatever? This earnings season, it's going to be, I don't even know what the ratio is going to be. 100% forward. I don't even think they're going to bring up the last quarter. We're not even going to bring up the numbers of last quarter because you're not even going to believe them. But let's look forward. What's the forward look? We think we'll get out of this. But did you hear Pence tonight? And Larry Kudlow. I hang on every person's word because they're measured anyway. So you have to dig through it. When did he say this market and this economy will turn around? Let's see if anybody listened. Let me take a look. Jeff, I made 20K off those Apple puts. Nobody's typing. How many people are in here? 256 people. Holy shit. Not Easter. No, guys. Easter's the let's reevaluate if we're all dying here. Larry Kudlow say, we fully expect the economy and the markets to turn around by summer or, early fall. I about dropped my glass of wine. I had to rewind it. I'm like, did everybody hear this? Insane. All right, now enough doom and gloom. I'm not Bill Ackman. Bill Ackman's holy crap, hell is coming. This was awesome. I'll remember where I was for the Bill Ackman, hell is coming, and I'll remember where I was for the Andrew Cuomo. His press conferences, guys, are only going to get, for my political hat, I'll say better. For my human hat, I'm going to say worse. He said, I have to say it again because I have to convince me. I'm not just trying to convince you or train you. I'm trying to convince me. He said we're 14 to, that's 2 weeks to 3 weeks away from peak. This will turn into Escape from New York, folks. My sister, they're going to the Hamptons. She lives next to Bon Jovi. My sister's awesome. Donald Trump, Bon Jovi. I'm the underachiever of the family. You guys got stuck with me. They're already leaving. Everybody's leaving New York. Great. Now we take the infection to the Hamptons. JC, those New York City travel recommendations makes me think someone is eavesdropping on your webinars. So, Bill Ackman the other day went from hell's coming, we're all going to die, shut the nation down, Mr. President. He called for a 30-day. Please tell me you watched this. If you are new here, you have got to watch Como today, and I don't usually do this. I'm not one of the, when I get a link from somebody like, hey, watch this interview, I'm like, yeah, okay, that was great. I'm that guy. Don't be me. Listen to me and watch these. You got to watch that one, and then you got to watch his Larry Kudlow called and said the president's going to have you clipped if you don't come out and change your tune. So now let's go ahead and get happy. Okay, let's go, and you got to believe, man. And I do sound like Bill Ackman. He's like, hey, man, at the end of the day, I got to believe in America that we're going to get out of this thing, somehow, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to add, you ready for this? I'm going to add, I have 4 buy indicators. I'm going to add a 0.5, 4.5. I got to debate if I'm going to promote it up to a full 5. Who watched my video that I just shot and just posted? What did I say is going to be 4.5 or 5? Brady got it. Oh, sweet. Guys, I'm proud of you for paying attention. It's Warren Buffett. At the height of the financial crisis, at the height of the fight, Patrick, what is your most effective option strategy? Patrick, you get the negative gold star of the night. There's no such thing as an option strategy, which tells me you haven't watched one Full Throttle training video. I'm not even going to answer that question. You don't even have the terms right. Warren Buffett. I was in the board of trade and the SIBO when Warren Buffett, after the panic, this is why I tell everybody, listen to me now, learn the lesson of this. You should have half of whatever you got in cash at all times. Because remember, folks, with options, we get leverage. Don't ever be 100% fully invested. Why? Because in moments like this, you can waltz in when people are literally screaming and they're on fire as they run out of the movie theater. And you can walk in and just scoop it up, right? Right now, what is this? This is the primary portfolio. It's almost $1 million, folks. 900 grand since January 1st. You know how much I have in options right now? 6.4%. Everything else is in a shitload of cash. Does everybody understand that? So the Oracle of Omaha, ladies and gentlemen, has not said a word yet. He walked in and essentially, isn't that great? Warren Buffett bailed out, thank you, bailed out Goldman Sachs, 10, 15% warrants. The guy printed money on it. Jim Cramer was even yelling today, like Khrushchev, with his shoe on the table at the UN. Where's Warren Buffett? He needs to be an American and step up and tell people what he's buying. No, he doesn't, by the way. I wouldn't. Or actually, I would. If I were Warren Buffett, I'd buy a shitload of stuff, then do a CNBC interview and go, I just bought a shitload of Apple, and Apple's up 10%. You want to talk about market manipulation? Carl Icahn, Buffett, these guys, when they make these announcements, the stock goes up. Bank of America, too. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, he's old. Oh, Karen, I didn't even think about that. He is old. I hope he's okay. So anyway, here's what I'm getting at is you guys know my buy signals right now. Okay. I'd add a Buffett. Cause I'm not listening to, did you see Kyle Bass? I've been getting up every day, like 5 for these calls and everything like that. Was it yesterday or today? Kyle Bass spoke and Kyle Bass wants to close the stock markets. Trump, to his credit, even is on record saying, no, we can't do that. Donald Trump closing the stock market, that he then talked about putting a bullet in the head, he would put the bullet in the head of the stock market. He can't do that. But you know who's calling for stock markets to be shut down? Everybody who didn't listen to us here and got their asses handed to them. Is that how that works in America? Oh, you're losing, so I have to lose too? Joe Mama moved from computer to phone for driving home. I love your name, Joe Mama. So here we go, folks. Oh yeah, real quick. I didn't even cover this, man. What an idiot. Hey, over in the chat box, you should have a tab that says handouts. Robert, are you in here? If you haven't read this trade plan 5 times, you need to choke yourself. Has everybody done? Hey, Robert, has everybody done this? I'm still getting questions and that I'm ignoring about stuff that's basically covered in here. This thing should be printed out. You should have a highlighter, and it's insane. Gavin, it's not a chat window. It says handouts over there. There's 3 handouts you can download. I'm not kidding, man, when I say this is pretty good shit. This thing, Robert, one of your squadron mates, and there's a great net, folks. We got people, Harry, Tamara, Karen, Jeff. The last live event we did was in Boca. We had a big party at my house at the Hilton. We will get together again, man. We were out in Lake Tahoe. We were down in Miami the year before that. We're all friends now. So Robert, Tamara, Karen, Harry, if Harry's feeling better, Kevin, I'm going to miss like 90 people that are fantastic freaking Americans and TGO people. You can call them, you can email them. I have no problem, unless it's okay with them, giving them your email. Because some of you, this is how squadrons work, man. Dude, I just had the worst landing of my career. Dude, tell me about it. Yeah, don't do X, Y, and Z because that's what I did. Thanks, man. We have a great network. That's what the Ready Room should be used for as well. Hey, man, I'm having this problem, or has anybody gone through this? I can hook you up with people. Tamara showed up here, met her in Miami, man. Great American. Lives up in Wisconsin. She didn't know how to spell the word options when she started here. Now she does trades at triple-digit returns. She's what we call her double vertical queen. Fantastic woman. Same thing with Karen, retired Delta. These women are doing fucking fantastic work. Started from square one, man. If I can do it, they can do it. And I got some Marine guys that can do it. You can do it. What am I getting at? Check this out. This is there you go, Jeff. I'm here helping other people all day who aren't TGO members. You guys are putting a ladder down for other people. That's a fireman's ladder, man. So, and somebody said, hey, thank you for putting this up here because I'm a pen and paper guy too. I'm not an Excel sheet or Word guy, man. I got to print my journals in the office. I'm out here. You got to write this stuff down. But take this and adopt it to you. Robert even sent an example. Hey, here's one that I filled out, a trade that I filled out. This is serious. This is deadly serious. You work hard for your money. So hard for it, honey. Was that Flashdance? If you're not taking, in combat, if you screwed up, your wife got a flag and the kids cried. In trading, you're going to lose money and you might live the next day, but it's going to suck badly. If you're not doing what's on the screen, if you're blindly following me, you're going to get killed. If you don't know why you're in something or what you're doing or when you're going to get out for max profit or min-loss, if you haven't done this level of planning, you're failing. This is your come to Jesus speech from the skipper. Some of the questions, which I'm still ignoring, means you haven't watched the first Full Throttle trade brief on the trade plan. Many of you are not doing this. I know for a fact. Up until I moved the coaching over to Afterburner Trading, many of my coaching people weren't. Hey, man, I'm doing X, Y, and Z. I'm like, what's your effing commit criteria? Where's your trade plan? I'll get back to you, Wiz. I'm not kidding, man. What is it, Florida Air or whatever, taking off out of Reagan National? Forgot to put the flaps down. You know how many people are dead because they're not following a checklist or a plan in aviation? The sides of mountains and the bottoms of oceans are full of Navy, Marine, and Air Force aviators who are dead because they didn't do something they were supposed to. I don't want to talk about this too much longer. This is you have to be doing it. Donna Summer, thank you. You write it down. Exactly, Kevin. It sinks in. Thomas is a pencil guy. All of that. Air Florida. Oh, Karen, what a brute. The images of that. The national park helicopter rescuing the people in the guy and the one flight. Man, makes it. Flaps 10. Didn't answer. Captain should have been like, dude, I said flaps 10. The flaps at 10? Awful. All right. Anyway, that's enough of all this stuff. Close all tabs. Please, please, please do a trade plan. I'm getting questions. Hey, what should I do with this trade? I don't know what you should do with this trade. It should have been all written down in your hands. Folks, real quick before we get into long call diagonals, and I know I'm going a little long. In the military, we call something a brief. First of all, it's not called a long, it's called a brief. And second of all, there's a lot of things that we say, hey, okay, admin standard, TAC admin standard, and then we can talk about the meat of what's going on in the mission. When I hear admin standard, I already know in my SOP, it says I walk downstairs to the paraloft to get changed at this time. I engine start at it saves so much time in a brief when I go, all right, guys, standard for admin and standard for TAC admin. Now let's talk about bombing the shit out of these people. We can do that for an hour. Recovery, coming back to the ship, standard. Any questions? So airborne, when a trade is airborne or when I'm airborne on a mission, you know how eerily quiet it is over the radio? It's not eerily quiet, it's calming. Why? Because everything's going as briefed. You guys usually see YouTube videos or Discovery Wings or whatever. A lot of chatter over the radio when something's not going as briefed. That's the only time I pushed my thumb to talk in the Hornet was when something's going on that we didn't talk about. Does that make sense? So when somebody says, hey, Wiz, EWZ is doing this, what should I do? I'm like, no clue. We talked about when you should be ejecting out of a trade, not you, me. When I would potentially eject out of a trade if it's going against me, and when I'd close it for profit. There's the brief. Next question. Give me a vertical head nod. I'm telling you, man, I'm telling all the new people that are showing up, you're going to blow out if you are not taking this training seriously. It's about training, guys. It ain't about trading. The training's first, the trading comes, and you should be in the simulator firing practice stuff so you can get airborne for real, right? Dutch. Wiz, as my old drill sergeant would say, you are standing tall and you have your collective shit together. Ooh, Ron, I didn't see that. Holland America cruise ship heading to Miami with 77 COVID on board. Yikes. All right, now enough of the preaching. This is temporary. Namaste, impermanence. Go read The Power of Now. This ain't going to last, man. Good times. Enjoy the good times because they're not going to last either. But knowing the bad times, they will end. The bad times will end. What do you like, Wiz, when the bad times end? Everything. Delta, Apple. I'm wearing my damn Lulus. S&P 500, Boeing. I won't have enough. I'll go sell Susie and the kids and the house to. I will buy everything with both hands. I predict, and I'm pretty damn good at this. Just ask me. That the bounce will be greater than the fall. It ain't going to be a V and it ain't going to be a U. It's going to be a shit show down here as bad macroeconomic data, and then that eventually on the 4 things that I told you. 5. So I'm going to say again, man, because I can't stress this enough. If you can't stand the in here, wait to hear. Everybody give me a virtual head nod. I don't want to hear shit about what's going on in here. I'm going to have losing trades. I'm going to have win. That was easy money. This is going to be blue collar work. That's going to be easy money. If you're leery, and how long is that going to take? I don't know, man. Kudlow, we're shooting for Easter to come out of our houses. I don't know, man. I would take this time if you don't have the stomach for this to get into your paper trading account, to read the full throttle manuals and your training videos. I would use this time, the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, to paper trade, get smart, and get ready for that. If you're sitting here just throwing trades on because you need money, you're going to go broke. Write that down on a yellow sticky and put it on your computer if you're one of those people right now. Do not do it. So here we go. I don't even know where to start. You know what? Jokingly, I'm going to start with. Actually, I can't. I was going to start with Lulu. You ready for this? Look at the. Has anybody looked at Lulu's chart recently? Look at that. Look at that. Sorry, I was looking at De Blasio to see if he was. I can't even. This is insane. This is ignoring the market. You want to talk about a V? Lululemon's got a V going on right now. I have no idea why. I ain't keeping them in business. The Lulu store, everything's closed. I don't know, but we did solo Amazon the other day. I bought some long calls and XLY. Kevin, I'm in the apparel industry, and that is nuts. That's exactly right. Jack, that's a good point too. Jack said, hey, during this time as well, when it's doing this, reduce your contract size. If I see anybody go, oh my God, I'm in this trade, and I'm going to lose so much money, trade small. If you're going all in with a bunch of chips, it's Murphy's Law that you're going to get your ass handed to you. I can't believe this. Okay, Lincoln, let's take a look. Good call, man. Nice job. Earnings are coming up. Let's ignore Lulu. Maybe. Nah, I'm not even going to play with that. What do I like? I don't like EWZ. I don't like EWJ. Oh, finally, Prime Minister Abe came out tonight and recognized what I said 2 months ago, that they're going to cancel or postpone the Olympics. They put it off a year. Yes, I did buy XLY calls. Yeah, we could do that, Doc. Yeah, so here's the real quick while we're looking at Lulu. Implosion. What's half the implosion? Right? Oops, that's a little too high. Right about there. So this, if it hits here and goes down, it's very bearish. If it hits here and goes up, buy calls with both hands. That is a classic. There's your $20,000 chart course in 30 seconds. Okay. So let's do this. Let's go with, you know what? This one's tough, but again, we're in training. This is not a trade recommendation. Look at that U out of Boeing. Let's do Boeing. Why? And why am I hesitant not to? First of all, let's do Boeing because I flew the damn airplane. I flew several Boeing products in my life. It's a national defense company. I think it would be a national embarrassment that we have to bail it out. But at the end of that's me in a flight suit. That's me flying a Boeing product. Don't bail this company out. Me being Gordon Gekko, it's America. You need to bail it out. It's national security. China could buy it. Rescue them. I think it's bullshit. Nikki Haley, I will vote for her for president. She resigned from the board of Boeing last week. Like, if you take federal dollars, I'm leaving. Well, I think we're going to have to. Well, I'm leaving then. That's a patriot. Years of your bloated mismanagement and stealing from taxpayers. $600 toilet seat in the P3 Orion. I went to Home Depot and it's $10. Pieces of shit. So here's why I'm leery. We're going to do it on Boeing, but here's why I'm a little leery. If the government comes in to bail them out, what happens to share? Well, we're not shareholders, we're options guys. All right, here we go. Let's do this. Let's just get going. Yeah, Trump said a million. The press. I'm losing track of his press conferences. The one the other day said what? We laughed about we'll do the Boeing shot game. Every time the guy says Boeing, we do a shot. We would have been dead by the time his brief ended. So let's talk about synthetic stock first. I can't believe I'm talking about something bullish, but I want you to pay attention because if you are disagreeing with me about this, you fly and fight your own airplane, not me. I can't physically pop the can of me in my F-18 when I'm airborne, reach out a mile like Stretch Armstrong near a cockpit and grab the stick and the throttle and start flying your airplane. That ain't me. I can give you direction over the radio about what I'm doing or maybe what you should do. But if you don't believe in this and you think Boeing's going to do that, or the overall economy is, Wiz, I completely disagree with you that we're going to have this ragged bottom. We're going to have COVID fatigue and the data, just who cares how bad it is, and we're going to rally. Then start buying everything with both hands. The two tactics I'm going to cover right now, copy, paste for every name that I've been bearish on, except Brazil and Japan. Doc's been doing a good job over in the Afterburner thread pointing out about how a lot of these not emerging markets, but other country ETFs, Japan's not an emerging market, they've been kind of trading lockstep with the SPX. Why? We're America, damn it. But when they decouple from SPX due to their own issues, EWZ usually trades like the SPX until breaking news, Dilma Rousseff has been impeached. Boom. Breaking news, Brazilian truckers are on strike. Boom. Breaking news. So they fly formation until they flame out. Okay? But so everything I'm telling you right now, folks, Amazon, Apple, Boeing we'll get to, Lulu, I can't even say this name without punching myself in the face, Nike, everything we've pounded into the dirt, Uber, Lyft, what else have I pounded? I can't remember. Everything that I've gotten bearish on, I will buy with both hands, period. That's when the next round of easy money is going to come. So let's go with Boeing. And one of the issues that you don't want to be in Boeing right now as a shareholder is if the government says, you know what, we have to rescue you, we nationalize the company. First of all, I think I was going to correct myself. With GM, when Barack Hussein Obama came in and bailed him out, what happened to the people who owned GM stock? They got nothing. So your grandfather who has a box full of GM shares in a shoebox in the closet, they went to zero. The bondholders got screwed too, which flipped the market. Nobody remembers this because Obama could never do any wrong to Democrats. But so if you are bullish, you can use an options tactic, not a strategy, that allows you to hop, speaking in an airplane, hop in this jet, in your jet, and fly all the way out into the future. Look how far out on the options chain we can go. Wiz, I cannot believe that Boeing's at $127. I mean, it was at 90 the other day. This thing's going to be a $400 stock again. Great. But I don't know when that's going to be. I want to give it as much time to get up there. You could go all the way out to June of 2022 and get full. What could you do? Step one of Wiz, I think Boeing's going to be a great American. Now I sound like Trump. He said it again tonight. Great American company, huge, going to be awesome. Backbone of America. it was a fifth of our GDP or whatever he was spouting. You could do what? If you just wanted to get long in Boeing, what could you do? You could buy what are called LEAPs. What's LEAP stand for? Long-term equity enhanced participant. I don't remember what LEAP stands for. It's a long-term call. Exactly, folks. You could buy. Let me open the options chain here. So everybody. I'm not even going to review this too much because you should have watched it already. You see these, how this is kind of dark and these are light down here and these are light and these are, well, let me just kind of scroll down a little bit so you can see. Remember from options session 2, full throttle training 2, or wait, scroll down here, Wiz, doofus. Let's do a quick review. These calls are in the money. These calls are out of the money. These puts are out of the money and these puts are in the money. They are inverted. There's options 101. Uncle Wiz, if I want to buy some calls on something, my rule of thumb, yes, you should have a pen and paper to write this stuff down, is I buy calls with a delta of at least 0.8. 0.8. Why? Calls have two types of value, right? Intrinsic and extrinsic. First of all, what type of value do they have? Holy crap, Wiz, there's a lot of time in these options. You got it. Oh, and by the way, Wiz, if you're looking at buying the 101 calls, man, they got $26.68 right now of meat on the bones. There's your intrinsic and extrinsic lecture. I saw the SIBO was giving a lecture the other day on this. It was an hour. It took him an hour to say what I just did. Everybody get that? Pay me $10,000 for that knowledge. So why would you do that, Wiz? Well, delta means a couple things. Delta is what? First of all, it's technically a percentage. Move that decimal point over 2 spaces. That's the probability of these calls finishing in the money and you making some scratch. Wow, 81% probability. Yeah, these are the 101 calls. And if by June 22nd, Boeing ain't over 101, we're all in a lot of trouble. Okay? Well, delta also means this, ladies and gentlemen. Delta means the rate of change, and this is as boogerish as I'm going to get, the rate of change in the price of these options based on the rate of change in the underlying. What's the underlying? Boeing. What do I mean by that? Let me open up the options chain here. I might have to click all so we can maybe 40. Let me scroll up. Wow, I have to probably click all. Oh my God, look at this. When they came up, there we go. Let me deselect the front month here. Here we go. There we go. Let me try 40. So you ready for this? Look at this. When you see an option with a delta of 1.0, you know what that means? For every dollar move in Boeing, these options prices move $1. It is a 1-for-1 change. So delta is the rate of change of these options prices based on the rate of change of the stock in this case. I said that slow so the Marines could give me a vertical head nod. Does everybody understand that? So if Boeing went up $22 today, $22.06, these one delta calls all went up what? $22.68 or whatever it was, 06. Does that make sense? So, well, Wiz, that sounds fantastic if Boeing goes up again. So up after hours. I want, ladies and gentlemen, look at the price. Stop it. Look at the price of these options. $70. $70. Holy crap, man, they're expensive. Of course they're expensive, folks. These are really deep in the money options. You got a lot of time and you got a lot of meat on the bones. They're pricey. Folks, see, you're not smart enough. You're not smarter than the options market. Neither am I. Does that make sense? So let me scroll down here. If that's a 1 delta option, let's go all the way out of the money and look at what? A 0.5 delta. Oh my God, they don't even have them to the upside. This shows you that the SIBO and Boeing did not expect to have Boeing down here. 0.5 delta options are what? Half as much of a move. So if this thing moves 11, these move, do the math. I'm sorry, if these move 22, these move 11. A 0.5 delta option is half as much of the move. Vertical head nod. Okay, that makes sense, Wiz. But hey, man, this looks awesome. Those deep in the money calls I was looking at, Wiz, that had a 1 delta were $70. These are 22. Yeah, folks, because these are a little bit of what? A lottery ticket. By June of 2022, Boeing has to be above 24 to actually, if you buy these calls, another 23, $4 and $4, 200 and so these calls plus what they cost, $463. 240. You see what I'm saying? $263. Does that make sense? Okay. So we could do when my rule of thumb, and write this down. So actually, we're going to talk clearly about a long call diagonal first. I was going to do synthetic stock. Now we're going to do a long call diagonal. I tend to buy, I thread the needle between a 1 delta option that has a lot of meat on the bones and is pricey to a 0.5 delta, which is a lottery ticket and pretty cheap. I thread the needle, guys, and I look for the calls that are closest to a 0.8. And right now, they would be the 150. So let me click on those. Okay. Buying, and let's just go maybe 3 or something like that. 3, yeah, that's 13 grand. And folks, remember, even if you bought one contract right now, folks, for $4,400, it's all about the percentages, guys. Whether you buy 1,000 calls or one, if they go up 517% in a year and a half, you both went up 517%. Does that make sense? Anyway, because so maybe for my portfolio, the primary portfolio I think I have up right now is this. Buying maybe 3 of these. Okay, now, and obviously this is a debit. When you're buying something, you're coming out of pocket. Right now, this is $13,000. Let me go. You are not going to get filled. When you want to buy something, if somebody's saying, hey, I'm selling my house, I'm asking $1 million, and you come in and say, I'll give you 100,000, you're not going to get filled at the bid, at what you're bidding. I'll meet you in the middle, dude. This at 500 grand. The guy selling the house for millions probably going to go, yeah, you need to come up a little bit. So there is a magical point in between the mid and the ask. Where is it? I don't know. I'm not in every brokerage or prop shop's trading algorithms. There's a shop who the guy's sitting there playing foosball where your price goes, you know what? Based on our secret squirrel top secret stuff at our options firm, that's a good price and we're going to fill you. Unless the stock's moving very quickly, you're most likely going to get filled on something like this. Immediately look at your account and it's down. Why? Between the bid and the ask is where dudes get massive houses in the Hamptons. This is where market makers make their living, folks. You are not going to get filled on this thing and look at the calls and then blink of an eye be up money. Unless between when you bought them and you look at it, something happened and it starts rallying. Always know that. I don't know how many times people are like, oh, I got filled on those, I'm immediately down. I'm like, duh. Did you not understand how this works? So now, as I've taught you in every full throttle training and in every live trade brief, when I click on this analyze tool, you need to look at one place and one place only, and that is max potential loss. Do not ever look at what you can make first. you always look at what you can lose. And if you're like, holy shit, I can't lose that, you don't do it, or you don't do the amount of contracts, you lower them. So let's analyze what buying these calls would do as far as max potential loss. Your max potential loss is $13,600. Ladies and gentlemen of the juror, what is that max potential loss based on? Guys, we'll wait till the end for questions. If they're zipping by here, and most of them are shit you should already know from watching other Full Throttle training. What is the max potential? Why exactly? The max risk in this trade is what? You see this right here? That's Boeing stock as of the close. It can go to zero. Will it? Most likely not. Trump will bail it out. Can it? Yes. Stocks go to zero, folks. Pets.com, Lehman Brothers, Bear Stearns, Enron. Stocks go to zero. Apple can go to zero. So, based on Full Throttle session number 2, the basics of options, what can we do? Yeah, the most you can lose, folks, when you buy something, I bought this house for $1 million and it just burnt down. Well, you just lost $1 million. The most you can lose when you buy something is what you paid for it. The most you can lose in buying Boeing calls right now would be what you paid for them. But let's say you wanted to, like, well, dude, I don't want to risk that 13 grand. And by the way, guess what? It impacts your margin, man. It sucks, but guess what? E-Trade's a business. E-Trade is saying, hey, man, we're going to, it's called a haircut. I don't think I ever got an answer about it. No, somebody told me it's called your haircut, your margin requirements. Dude, they increased my haircut or something like that. I think I knew years ago what that meant. I don't. I forgot about it. A lot of smoking weed. Not yet tonight, though. So how could you say, you know what? Shit, man, that's buying these calls is eating up a lot of margin. What could you do? You could buy what? Yeah, you can do spreads and all sorts of shit. Let me stick with what I'm doing here, guys. We could buy what? Some downside puts. Some protective puts. I probably do them about down at around 100. Why? Because that's the round number. We dip through 90, it's kind of 100. Oops, 3 of them. Now watch what I'm going to do. Holy crap, let me, I don't know, put 8250 in here. But watch what happens. 82. Stop. Whatever. Here's what, oh my God, Wiz, my wrist just went through the roof. Yeah, it did. Not risk, what you're going to spend. Sorry. Oh my God, that's through the roof what I'm going to spend. How much is your max potential loss? Well, that's not right. That makes 0 sense. Guys, real quick, all of the options pricing and everything is all screwed up all over the place. Buy the 100 puts. Yeah, that math doesn't work out. Here's what's going on. And you know what? We're going to, in between now and synthetic stock, we're going to go look at the VIX because the VIX is just insane right now. Let me go up to here. So remember, folks, brokerage platforms update their options pricing after hours. Something's going on here. Here's the mindset behind it. This max potential loss should have gone down to what? Got cut in half easily. When you buy go watch the previous long call diagonal synthetic stock back in September, and the prices weren't screwed up. All right. No, that's not right. The quantity is the same. It's 3 and 3. The strikes are different. Buying these calls and selling this put. This is what I call a protective put, ladies and gentlemen. Right? So anyway, but we're not done with this yet. How could I bring in a little premium? I did buy the put. Guys, Jesus. Buying calls on Boeing means you're bullish. Buying puts on Boeing is trying to protect the long calls in case you're wrong. Now, How could we make a little scratch at this right now? Let's bring in a little premium. And I would not do this. You got it, folks. Sell an upside call. Right now, there is no way on God's green earth I would do anything that I'm telling you. This is training. But what could I do? Wiz, I think this is a little bit of a dead bad bounce. You're right, weekly unemployment claims. I think by Friday, Boeing gives up some of these gains. Great. What could you do? You could go out to Friday and sell what we call an upside call. I don't even, I'm pissing in the wind here. I don't even know what strike I'd use. Where do we? There's no technical analysis anymore. Maybe the 150. Implosion, ledge, implosion, bounce, implosion, ledge. Here's the ledge, 150. So watch this. We could sell 3 of Friday's. Friday, folks. What's Friday? The 26th. Scroll all the way up. 27th. 150 calls. Why does this keep going back to one? Oh, my Numerlock. I don't even know what that thing does. Sell the 150 calls. So look at that. Instead of risking, we already brought in, what was that, $1,200. I already reduced the cost of getting into this trade. This is, you got to go watch the short call lecture. Okay, go watch the short covered call lecture. Right? Is it the 80? What was the? Yeah, maybe it's the call. Let's go look at this. This isn't making sense, guys. June 22nd. I don't have a front month selected. What is the 80 delta call? No, it's not, guys. This is right. Trust me. I saw this in 2008, man. The options pricing is all over the place. Exactly, Goose. This is the math is off here, guys. Let's just stick with the training. Again, this is training, folks. Tomorrow, Market Live. Hey, there's Mike Rowe. I met Mike Rowe, a couple weeks ago at the Boca Resort. It's on my Instagram page. Good dude. Here's the concept, guys. Enough. Let's move on from this one. And we'll go talk synthetic stock because I like synthetic stock more than this tactic. The point being, folks, is you can go out in time all the way out in your F-35, hop in your Joint Strike Fighter. You can go all the way out to here. Right now, folks, I wouldn't do this on Boeing. You know what I do on Boeing? What I did on Amazon and XLY. I'd go out to September. I got to believe Larry Kudlow's doing the best he can. I think he's a good dude, great American. If we're not out of this shit by September, I don't care about my portfolios. It's a zombie apocalypse. I'm not kidding. 3 million unemployment claims maybe Thursday morning. Even if it's 1.5 million, folks, those are people. That's your fellow American. And it's only folks. The macroeconomic data, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be COVID. It's going to look like this. It's going to spike and then drop off. Why am I talking about this? Because I wouldn't do a long call diagonal out to here. I'd do a long call diagonal out to here. And everybody's asking me right now. I said no. I wouldn't do this. You can do whatever you want. Duh. I'm not telling you what to do at all. If you are listening to the Wall Street smart people who said stocks are great here, definitely nibble here. Oh, I'm a nibbler here. I'm even more nibbling here. I'm nibbling here. Maybe they did here. Maybe they did here. They're broke here. They're broke here. They're broke here. They did not nibble down here. It's a lie. All the nibblers are starving. I know. I'm talking to a bunch of them throughout the day. All of a sudden, a bunch of hedge funds who aren't hedged. You think you guys found out about Top Gun options from friends. Do you want to know what my hedge fund? I got hedge fund buddies. Hey, Wiz, just kind of checking in. Didn't know you never met me. Can you tell me how to buy calls and puts? I'm like, oh, Christ. So I would be looking out. Exactly, Mark. My stomach's full. No more nibbling. Thomas. Oh, that's brutal. Virus has killed its youngest victim in New York. Oh, man. Ralph, I'm glad you asked that. Let's do that for, Ralph, you get a gold star. What I neglected that for my buy with both hands list. You ready for this? Good job, Ralph. It's on the screen. Visa. A month ago, what was this? A $200 stock? We were 220s. They bought Square or what? Plaid, whatever. $5.2 billion a month ago or something like this. Do you not, if you weren't here a month ago, folks, you didn't see the videos that I posted. You can go watch the briefs of what? Bankers, tellers in China. They had cups. They had disinfectant like Lysol. They were pouring over the money. It can last on paper and cardboard. And did you see what the CDC said today? Anybody know how long it lasts on that cruise ship? 17 days. That cruise ship the surfaces remained infected. What am I rambling about? I'm rambling about the fact that when I looked at my wallet today, I'm like, how do I get rid of this money? Burn it and light a cigar. I'm not going to do that. What am I rambling about? The fact that Visa is this. Yeah, MFA blew up today. Did you guys see that? The mortgage finance. This is coming, folks. Shit. I didn't. Where's that Bloomberg article? What the Bloomberg article? Anyway, I'll find. I can't find it. I'll find it for tomorrow. Ready for this? 500,000 millionaires are not millionaires anymore in this country. You know who those people are? Small business owners, right? That are doing okay. They're going to have small business owners or just people who were millionaires. They don't live in favelas in Brazil. They probably live in nice houses. Bloomberg came out this before I jumped on the air. I posted it in the Afterburner thread. 500,000 millionaires has ceased to exist in America. They're getting rid of Picard. They got a mortgage payment in a week for that nice big $1 million home that they live in. This will be a ripple effect through the economy. I told one of my Doc buddies today, get out of gold. What are you talking about? Let's talk about. Here you go. Look at me. We gotta talk synthetic stock, guys. I gotta go. I've been at this all day and I'm dragging. The gold market is breaking down. Listen to me, folks. I have to share this. Then we'll talk about Visa. Jan, do you have a clue as to who or what is buying stock today? Oh my God, dude. You clearly showed up late or you didn't listen for the first 45 minutes. Go watch the replay. Gold, folks. Listen to me. The one plastic surgeon and his brother, orthopedic surgeon, got 200 grand in gold, dude. Physical. I'm like, sell it now. Oh, what are you talking about? Folks, let me walk you through this, because if some of you, I don't have enough to really care about it. I'm in Montana killing zombies and I need to trade it for ammo. Listen to me about gold. Gold does not have a CEO. It doesn't have earnings. It doesn't fly. It doesn't drive. You can't eat it. The most you can do is put a gold bar in a pillowcase and swing it at zombies and try and break their jaw. It's an emotional thing. I had to ask Doc, I'm like, dude, why do you have 200 grand in gold? And what's your address? No, why do you have 200 grand in gold? He's like, well, it's kind of my end of the world thing. I'm like, I don't think you've been keeping up on current events, Doc. We just got our asses kicked. Why are you holding on to gold right now? Do you know the first thing that's being liquidated right now? Gold. Are people to kind of use your brains? It's my rainy day fund. Dude, it's fucking pouring outside. It's a Cat 5 hurricane over your house, and you're going to hold on to your gold? When these former 500,000 millionaires who have gold in their safe start going to the pawn shop and dumping their gold, what's going to happen to the price of it? I'm making a career call right now. You don't understand what's about to happen. You have to think opposite the market. Do you understand that? Mark, yep, gold took a bath last week as liquidity dried up. People are meeting margin calls. Strong dollar driving gold up until when? Until it's not. I'm telling you, folks, my sister fleeing New York, going to the Hamptons. You guys don't know that rich elite right now, the people that have the $300 million yachts, who were all in this market in November, December. My hedge fund manager's telling me everything. Oh my God, and now I'm broke. It's coming, folks. Gold, physical gold, is going to implode. It's comical. This is my rainy day. He said that, man. God, a great dude. I'm going to get breast implants next week for free. I'm like, Doc, man. He's like, oh my God, you're right. That's a good point. I'm like, why are you holding on to it for the end of the world? It's pretty damn close. And when people start rushing out to get rid of that gold to meet margin calls, to pay the mortgage, to buy more ARs, gold's going down. Period. Mortgage companies. So what's going to happen? We haven't even talked to a guy, but where's MFA? I'll talk about synthetic stock in a second. Oh my God, folks. How about this? Rikers Island. Situation on Rikers Island. I hear hundreds of inmates are infected. My God, you get on your knees tonight before you get in bed and you thank God. First of all, that you weren't stupid enough to get thrown in jail for something, but that you're not these people. I swear to God, I'm going to pray. The prisons are going to be horrific. You think they got ventilators in the prison hospital, folks? Where is it? It was a big article about MFA blowing up. I can't find it. Whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, on April 1st, April Fools, it ain't funny. You know how many people aren't going to pay their mortgage or pay the rent? Well, those evil landlords, man. I got buddies who own like multi-family homes. That's their income, man. I have rental income. I'm not going to have rental income this month. Now I need to evict people, get the sheriff involved. Dude, this is going to get insane. Hold on. I want to find this because this is important. I'm going to go a little long tonight just because I can't. America's millionaire ranks shrink by 500,000 in record time. Does anybody? How many of you sitting here going right now? Okay, Bloomberg. Speaking of Mike Bloomberg, folks, has anybody seen Mike Bloomberg, multi-billionaire Mike? He wasted $500,000 to get his ass beat by a fake Indian in public. Usually I pay for that in Vegas at the strip club. Can you believe that? Where is this son of a bitch when people are losing, when New York's imploding? $500 million to be embarrassed? What a disgrace. Terrible human being. Anybody see Mike Bloomberg? You want to win the presidency, Mike, as the Democrat? Go on TV tomorrow and be like, dude, I'm giving away the other $500 million I'm going to help. Dude, let me write the speech for you, Mike. I wish I had $500 million because I'd go sprinkle it all over the place. Anyway, I can't see this article because Mike Bloomberg wants me to pay for it. The point being is, where to get on this rant? Oh, gold and stuff like that. You have no idea what's coming. 14 to 21 days, the governor of New York saying, you want to see panic selling? People leaving their apartments in New York City, going to a pawn shop to dump the gold that they saved for a nuclear attack. This is going to happen. I have, and this isn't me, I joke when I say I'm Ricky Bobby. Well, guess what? We haven't missed anything in here. Nothing I said has been disproven true or not happened. And I'm hearing this on the frequencies, guys. This thing, I got a couple of threads going. Afterburner traders, institutional/HF, institutional and hedge fund thread. Dudes are hurting. Dudes that are managing other. And I swear we'll get to this after this, but this is, I've always told you guys, thank God you're here. Nobody gives a shit about your money. I don't give a shit about your money. I give a shit about training you to give a shit about your money. These guys, I'm not even going to go into what's going on some other threads on my phone. You know who they care about right now? Them. And dude, I got 2 houses. Oh, freaking, what are you, Bernie Sanders? I kid and joke with you guys. I keep my tongue. Shockingly, I am very I play to the audience with them in, and right now when dudes are down, I ain't kicking them or doing a victory lap. I can joke tongue in cheek with you guys because a lot of you now are millionaires. For the 500,000 millionaires that don't exist, we have at least, I don't know, man. I'll go look at my COVID folder. We got some people who are very, very rich here. But gold and here's what I was talking about with the whatchamacallit, with the mortgage companies. Mortgage companies, folks, they have investors. It's not like this ain't some 1920s black and white movie with the dude in the black hat and the mustache that he twirls and the lady on the train tracks with the train coming. Aha, I'm a landlord. Screw you. They got investors and people who you break. That's April 1st is coming, folks. That's why the president picked March 31st. I know this. I got a deep throat. Hey, I know what's going on. Very, very close to what's going on. This person, I'm going to take care of the rest of his life because we know what's going on. America doesn't. We do. And none of it's classified or anything like it. I took an oath, man. I'm not Hillary Clinton, and I'm not. But it's going to get bad. The president initially was doing his 31 March bullshit because April 1st was coming. I know he wanted to get up on March 31st and go, it sucks in New York, sucks in Washington and California. The rest of America, go back to work. Huge. Market rallies April 1st. Some mortgage delinquency. Some people don't pay the rents. It's not that bad. He just said Easter. April 1st is going to be awful. Anybody who's doing this, hey, the market's up right now, folks. Seriously? Oh, yeah. Okay, good. Thanks, guys. It has the Federal Reserve, ladies and gentlemen. The Federal Reserve, ladies and gentlemen, can't do a damn thing. I've literally lost count of the guys that I talk to who don't know what the Fed's doing. Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. The Federal Reserve, what they're doing, does no good for a waiter or a waitress. Did you not see the press conference that we traded live, where the president sat with Jamie Dimon was coming out of surgery. Whatever. I forget all. I used to be able to name the heads of the 5 families at the banks. Mr. President, we're fully capitalized. We're fine. We're standing here to help out America and small business. Okay, how about you? They copy and pasted. They were like part of the Borg. They were all wired to this. They all had the same answer to the president. And the one guy broke from it a little bit. He's like, sir, this isn't a financial crisis. This is a medical crisis. Okay, good, huge, fantastic. Believe me. So the banks, the heads of the 5 families, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Merrill Lynch, Bank of America, Citi, they're all freaking swimming in cash, guys. Don't worry about them. Their houses in the Hamptons, they're going to buy their neighbor's house in the Hamptons in a couple weeks. Worry about these companies. And this will be 2008 again. Did you think that we escaped from CDS, folks? Collateralized debt securities, or what's the other one? Do you remember in the financial crisis what happened? Wait, you're a waitress and you make 32 grand a year? Fantastic. Here's a home loan for $600,000. This is coming, man. So I'm going to tell you, if you missed out on selling into today's rally, you didn't miss it. Mortgage, did they get bailed out? Did Ronin Capital get? So this bailout bill, folks, it's already, here's the best analogy. It's a virus. There's a virus in the United States, literally, and we're slowly dying. And we have the brain saying, this isn't happening. And my right arm doesn't work anymore, but now I'll send my left arm to go, and we're slowly shutting down. So the Bill Ackman speech was right. He was a hero, and now he's a coward. Wait, everybody just tried to cut me, so now I'm going to say I'm buying stocks. These mortgage companies going tits up, ladies and gentlemen, will be devastating for the economy. There's investors in here. There's bondholders. There's people that own stock. I was talking to a dude today. He's like, I got a lot of stock in the. I'm like, do you know where you are in that conga line if that mortgage company goes out of business? I own shares. You own shit. What? The amount of ignorance that people have that they don't know what they're doing is disturbing. Enough. That was a big ass rant from gold to mortgage to let's get to synthetic stock. Guess what? I wouldn't be doing any of this right now. Any of it. That was fun, LOL. Reg, you get a gold star. Um, I loved it. Thank you. That was interesting. Reg brings up a great point, dude. I didn't even think about that. And I weep for my airline buddies. Does anybody, and do you remember what happened the last time airline guys got wiped out? Instead of, I'm a TWA captain, I have $1.2 million in my pension, and the company's bankrupt, and you're going to get $3,000 a month for the rest of your life. What? Does everybody remember this term? I do, as an airline guy. The PBGC, the Pension Benefit Guarantee Corporation. Yes, Captain Buckley, we know that you had 1.3 million in your pension fund and now it's worth $3,000. Here's your cat food. I didn't even think about that, Reg. Good catch. You seen the pictures at Atlanta Hartsfield, folks? It looks like 9/11. There are airliners parked on taxiways. I almost don't even want to do this synthetic stock lecture, to be honest with you. Why? Because my wife made spaghetti. It smells good, and I had 2 glasses of wine. I don't even. We can't. Maybe I'll do another free brief here. It ain't free. I'll pay for it, Wiz. Meaning, I can keep going. If there's anybody in this room that's bullish right now, the more I talk about this, it's insanity. You know what I'm going to do this synthetic stock brief? I'm making a commanding officer decision out here. Why? Because it's a little bit more in depth. It doesn't matter. You can go watch the old one. And here's the only thing I would be doing long now, folks, is going. I did it with Amazon and XLY. I am not a nibbler right now. I prefer to do these trainings when the appropriate tactics should be employed. I'm calling uncle. Let's shoot the shit for a little bit. The only thing I would be doing right now, Delta Atlanta closed the entire runway. Runway 28 is closed. 2 miles of jets parked. Oh, Karen, Delta is still holding mine. It never got transferred to the PBGC. I've been holding my breath since this crap started. Oh, Karen, I think you're going to be okay. I'm calling an audible, Kathy. You got it. Matthew, I could listen to you all night, but I don't want to listen to me all night. I get tired of hearing myself speak, man. Every time I'm on one of these briefs and these calls in Hong Kong and talking to dudes in Macquarie, it's long. I said I was going to take a vacation this week, even with COVID, and I'm not going to. But here's what I do, guys. Because I fully reserve the right to be wrong. You could day trade your ass off right now. Buy some calls on Boeing. Get bearish on Boeing. You can do this. There's such thing as over trading. Me, I told you step 0. The easy money's been made. Now it's going to be work. I'm going to work. This is working now, like making money on these things. And then that's going to be, I'm going to look like freaking Albert Einstein and Warren Buffett. This will be disgusting to the upside. I'm not kidding when I'm saying selling the wife and kids in the home. Everything. I will buy everything. And there will be so much, now I sound like Trump. There will be so much pent up demand. I'm going to buy everything with both hands. Not right now. However, if this is you, man, as a flight instructor, as an options instructor, I'm telling you, somebody, whoever gets the best word, I'll buy you a bottle of Camus or a bottle of 1942, since I'm going to drink half of it the next time I see you. Somebody find me right now, you ready? Go. A better word for nibbling. As I'm waiting to hear the answer, if you're a nibbler, go out to set. Man, that was quick answers. Munching diddler, dip toe in, legging in, hooked at the bottom, pick, munching, ooh, munching, gorging, notching, ooh, peck, speculator, chewing, tippy toeing, schnitzel, stupid, sampling, bottom feeding, fucked, climber, testing, picker, dipping one's toes in, swiping right. I think that might have won. Peckering, graze, catching a fucking falling knife, stupid, best taste runs, sucker. Oh my God, you guys cracked me up. Nibbly bibbly. Don't. Snack, taste, peck. I like that one. Blowing chunks. There was a guy in my squadron in the sharpshooters. His name was Chunks. David, all right, you guys are awesome. You guys, this is some funny shit. We're gonna have a great live event when this is over. What a good group. But I'll be the adult in the room. I've never thought I'd ever be the skipper of anything in my life. I'm like my dad. Any club that would have me as a member, I don't want to be a member of. Any, but here's the deal. David, I think you said it as it flew by. That's a lot of funny shit. It's funny. I can say the chat from each brief is saved, and I'm gonna laugh at some of this stuff tonight. David had it nailed. You can't be a bottom picker if it ain't the bottom. The only people that know when the bottom of the market is are a bunch of jerks at a cocktail party going, yeah, I picked the bottom. It was that day. Come on, man. You can put it on my tombstone. We nailed that to the day, literally to the day. Donald Trump sitting there in Davos. We were in the brief. I'm like, he's lying. He's lying. And I turned around and it was famous. This one, we got 2 or 3 days right. And then that happened. The bottom, there's no way on God's green earth I'm going to pick that to the day. And listen to me. I'm going to wait. We are in a bear market. We're in a horrific bear market. What happens in bear markets? Bear market rallies. Yeah, and they're usually pretty violent. You saw one today. Wiz, shut down computer, close it, go. No sense in looking at it. My commit criteria didn't change. Matter of fact, it got stronger. I think I added to it a little bit today on the afterburner trade. I'm like, pfft. And the best part about that afterburner thread, people were calm, like, dude, yeah, we agree. The other day wasn't like people were like, oh, I'm getting a little, you know what, you're right. Fly the brief. But let me summarize with this. If you're a nibbler, if you're whatever the best term, that there was some really weird shit in there that flew by in the chat box, you guys should most likely seek help after this is over with. Go out to September. If you think Kudlow's right, that nobody knows. I don't know. I'm not a virologist. I'm not in the Pentagon right now. I'm not any of these things. But if you think we're going to get, hell, there's forecasts that it's not going to go away. It'll dip like in the fall, but it's a virus, man. Go out to September and buy some out of the money calls on shit. After the zombie apocalypse, folks, people are still going to want to take videos of the zombie apocalypse on their Apple. They're going to upload it to the iCloud. I don't even know what that is. People are going to be ordering from Amazon. I think Amazon, somebody asked, why is Amazon so resilient today? They're one of the only companies in America hiring. Folks, money has to go somewhere. The guy that I ran the firm in Chicago, I was partners with, he's like, dude, money's fluid. Hedge fund managers, ladies and gentlemen, aren't being paid right now to sit on their ass. They have to generate alpha. Money's got to go somewhere. It's literally fluid, guys. Kind of like gender to Democrats. It's fluid and it has to flow somewhere. Where would you go seeking safety right now besides a treasury that you have to pay the government to hold your money? Amazon. Who else is hiring? FedEx. We got a couple of FedEx guys on the afterburner thread. They're flying their asses off, and God bless them. However, I can't believe this stuff isn't like hitting the news fast. I think we're getting, like I said, COVID, numb to COVID. I was at the resort today, scrolling through the crap. Buddy sent me, he's like, oh my God, the CDC just said it lived on the cruise ship for 17 days. Over 2 weeks, the virus is alive. It's on cardboard. It's on plastic. Why am I ranting about this now? Amazon, man, the poor freaking Amazon workers. We're hiring and we pay $17 an hour plus benefits plus a potential deadly disease. You're hired. Do we get to the point in this country, folks, where the Postal Service and FedEx stops? You can see it in Trump's face. He's contorting. The body's dying, folks, and the brain, Trump, my God, I can't believe I just said that. He's the brain of the country. It's refusing to believe. But what if we get to the point where first confirmed case of a FedEx delivery and the dude's dead? right? I don't. I'm wargaming here, man. Who was I talking to? Heed's Marine skipper, great guy. Shrek brought him along here. Heed's a great American. I talked to him on the phone the other day. I mean, the things that are flying around. If we're talking about it, folks, imagine what's going on in the tank at the Pentagon and places where you can put your ear to the door and all you hear is music because in there's shit being talked about that would make your toes curl. So I probably wasted a lot of time tonight even talking about the long call diagonal. I'm not. Oh, that's what I was ranting about. Man, I feel like Joe Biden right now. Um, is this because these days are very long for me, man. I'm trying my best. I will wait. I'll wait to get a confirmation that this is it. Wiz, this might be it. It's a 2,000 or 3,000 point day. I'm like, mm-hmm. And no, come on, jump in. Mm-hmm. No, you're gonna miss out. Miss out on what? A couple points? Dude, we're gonna do that eventually. I will wait. You can't tell you what to do, but I would rather miss out on a couple points of upside to potentially avoid that. This is in the future, folks. I got to talk to you as that's why the live trade briefs are fucking awesome. Is because we'll be making these calls live. I will be, but you need to do whatever you need to do. But my God? Look at that implosion. I literally even the 2008 it wasn't that bad. But I learned from the 2008 that there was these going on. It's all clear. Slam. Everybody's broke again. And another firm blew up. No, it's really a slam. It's all clear. What? Are you sure? It's all clear. Okay, I'm in. And I got from there to there. That is safe. Let me end on this. That's what I'm going to end on is there is a point in the future. Let's call this the whiz gap, right? There's a point between now and X in the future. X is going to happen. If it doesn't, nobody cares about trading anyway. We're all meeting at the rally point in Montana. We need a doctor, a chemist, a bunch of Marines with small arms training, and some hot women. And our families. If you're going to bring them young. So that's not going to happen. And if it does, I'll send you the coordinates. You're going to need a secret decoder ring that you have to figure out what the coordinates are. That'll be our rally point. We'll start our own society. Hopefully that doesn't happen, right? So that's not going to happen. So what you can do, you can go out now to September. I'm not, guys. I'll tell you what I'm thinking, but I'm not. I am thinking that, but I'm not. I nibbled. Should have been a shot. I nibbled out in Amazon and XLY. Why? Because that's where capital is flowing right now. Amazon's a safe company. If Amazon goes tits up, we're all in trouble. But if I'm not going to say a nibbler, but if you're looking for opportunities, it's so funny to watch the CNBC guys or Fox Business and everybody like, I bought here. I bought a little. And we've ignored. If you're starting to get a little frosty right now, like, okay, everybody's down here in hell. I'm ready to get lifted out. Go get bullish. Go out to September, buy some 0.8 Delta calls deep in the money, and don't look at them again until August. What? When I buy puts, folks, you know when I get out of those puts? For the profit that I wanted. Well, whiz, these puts are down a lot. I don't care. Then they're gone. I really don't care. Do you know how many times in the past, folks, like when we'd be in a volatility trade? I remember live trade briefs Tuesday mornings. Whiz, this volatility trade to Fridays, it's red and it's losing money. Okay, that's interesting. Well, I'm going to get out of it. Thursday afternoon or Friday afternoon. Breaking news, XYZ just happened and the market's imploding and the VIX is up. Son of a, yeah, that was stupid. If you don't have your commit criteria, I do not exit puts. I put them on for a reason. If those reasons change, they needed to all freaking change 1,000%. How many times have you been a put buyer and you're like, oh man, these are down a little bit. Let me get out of them. I think they wait until you click get me out of these until they go, okay, now breaking news and you're like, son of a. Same thing with long calls. I think Boeing by September is going to be back on its feet and everything's going to be fine. It's not, Wiz, right now. Okay, well, maybe when you got out of it, it's up. I'm experiencing degraded calm here. There you go. Maybe it's my headset dying. I've been on this thing all day. All right, guys, that's about it. Shades of. All right, everybody hears me fine. Scott, that's you know what? What's his name? Rubini, Dr. Doom. I take credit for changing in a 4-block radius around the Chicago Board of Trade. I now hear people call them options tactics. Anybody else hear that? That was me at Peak 6 Investments in 2006. Option strategy is a stupid term. There's no such thing as an option strategy. There is, Wiz. It's an iron. I'm like, that's a tactic, you doofus. What does that support? Well, we're managing risk and saving. I'm like, that's the strategy. The strategy's up here. The tactic is what you use. Oh my God, that's great. The dead bat bounce. I used that 2 months ago. I've been using the term. It's usually called what? A dead cat bounce. Why? You ever throw a cat out, off the roof? I don't know, man. What a morbid, whatever. Implosion, dead cat bounce, implosion. It's called a dead cat bounce. I called it right here. I said it's a dead bat bounce because a bat was allegedly the thing that caused all this. So I'm not trying to confuse you. I've called it a dead bat bounce. About 4 weeks ago, Nouriel Rubini, Dr. Doom, got on TV and used that term, and now people are using it. I'm like, some bitch. Who's the member or Rubini who's using my term? It was comical. Oh, I know the futures are negative. My doctor buddy, futures are 300 points, Wiz. I'm like, call me after dinner. Of course the futures are negative. I should have copyrighted it. Nah, man. Yeah, I mean, whatever. All right, guys, let me look through here. Ooh, Gottlieb's on. Well, I'll brief you on it, folks, but I'll be up at 5 again. I got calls around the world. Folks, let me finish with this. China. I love when Trump says China. It makes my day because it came from China. China's lying. Oh my God, Wiz, I never thought of such a thing. No, here's what I'm getting at. Every time even Fauci, who's the smartest guy on the stage with Dr. Berg, this is all the math we're using, folks, based on China is a lie. And people saying, and this one investor on CNBC, look at China. Look at, things are flattening out here. They reported no new cases. Are you fucking stupid? Did I show you the video earlier? My buddy in Hong Kong, he's like, you can't go they're not admitting anybody with this because they don't want the numbers to go up. Use your brains, people. China's getting out of this thing. Are you nuts? Did I save this? And we saw the vice premier walking around China. And what happened? People were leaning out of their balconies. They're probably all dead, yelling at the media that it was a lie and don't believe everybody. China coronavirus official warns of resurgence. Of course, they're going to blame the foreigners. We have people coming back into China that are sick and they're infecting us. They have a travel ban. You're not even allowed back into China right now. It ain't. So it's the U.S. Army again. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a coronavirus official in China blaming foreigners. They're having another outbreak. Why do you think they kicked out our journalists? My buddy in Hong Kong, he's at Macquarie. I've been to Hong Kong. I've been to Tokyo. Where else have I been? Macau. I've been to China working with Macquarie. Macquarie is the Goldman Sachs of Asia and Australia. These are freaking smart people. He's like, dude, we did that. It was almost like this headline. He's like, the Chinese. Well, yeah, the Hong Kong Chinese authorities said we're good, everything's fine, everybody go back to work, and they're freaking dying again. Do not listen to anybody who, from our government, even Fauci or Birx, that says China. We have some encouraging news out of China. They didn't report any new cases. Let me say that again, but slower, doctor. Seriously? I mean, I'm just a dude sitting in Boca talking to a lot of people, but hearing that China has no new cases is a disgrace to hear from a government official. There it is. Trump, January 22nd, the best day of my life, aside from getting married and having all my children. The fourth best day of my life was this. I turned to the screen and I said, guys, get out, go to cash right now, buy puts on the S&P 500, get long volatility. And we made millionaires. Trump says he trusts China's Xi on coronavirus, and the U.S. has it totally under control. Look at his face. I watched this interview again today. Joe Kiernan in Davos, all the beautiful people. Remember Ray Dalio, the largest hedge fund manager in the world. What did he say in Davos, folks? That they're going to put on his tombstone? Cash is trash. You got to be in this market. Cash is trash. You know what he said 3 weeks later as everybody's eating brains? You got to be in cash. That's the smart money, folks. The guy flies around the world in a fleet of airplanes. My new call sign's Ray Dalio. He's an idiot. But when you're a hedge fund manager and you're long only, you want everybody else in long stocks because misery loves company. All right, I got to get going. Possum. Oh, shit. No, Brazil is up to 2,047 reported cases. Oh, my God, folks. Brazil's going to be bad. You got it, Mark. He said cash is trash. Mark, new shot / drinking game. Every time Pence holds up his stupid 15-day card, drink. You know what, Mark? The next time, I don't think that guy's going to be holding up that 15-day card anytime soon. The 15 days wouldn't start until everybody started doing what he's talking about. I'm going to leave it at this, guys. People are fleeing New York City. Would you, folks, I'm talking to you. We're all squatter mates now. Would you be sitting with your family in your cooped up apartment in New York City right now as the cases spike? Or would you get in your damn car if you even know? That's the other thing. People that live in, my sister's parking spot in her building is $50,000 a year. I'm like, people don't even make that in a year. She's like, oh yeah, well, people don't even have cars. Go buy Uber and Lyft stock, folks, because it's going to have a spike as people get in an Uber and drive to Florida. I'm not kidding you. Look at the rental car companies. My God, folks. I don't even want to talk about DC. I mean, Georgetown and DC, folks. So you got it, Dutch. All right, guys. I pay for your entertaining commentary. The ideas are just a bonus. All right, guys. I'm beat. These days are long for me. I enjoy this. I love it. I love you guys. I thank God every day for you guys and what we're doing here. I'm going to leave on this. I keep saying I'm going to leave, and I am going to leave. Please do not trade angry. Do not trade, oh my God, I'm broke and I just showed up here and I got to swing for the fences. Stop. Do not do anything in here. It's going to be interesting. Wait for here and do this. This was easy. This will be easy. This is going to be a shit sandwich. I'm warning you. And I'm not going to feel bad for you if you lose money because I warned you. Fly, fight, win in your airplane. I'm going to give you all the intelligence I can, all the training I can. At the end of the day, you sign for your airplane. Get in here and watch the full throttle training. If you're going to take a hiatus and hang out and grab some popcorn and watch this shit, get trained. Still come to the live trade briefs and learn paper trade. Throw them in your account and start getting the simulator building, and you're going to do fantastic. We will get through this, guys. I feel bad for Donald Trump. It's a tough position to be in. He's got a Subway foot long on Parmesan shit sandwich, and he's trying to put Tabasco sauce on it. He's got to get this country back, but he can't let people die. There's a point on the president's chart here where that is the acceptable amount of deaths and that is the not acceptable impact to the economy. He's trying to find that spot right there. I pray to God that he finds it, and I pray to God our country does. Why? Because I want to stop working this hard. I don't like this, man. Topkin options, we were having a blast and just we were printing money, not doing that much, and then now it's a little bit more because things are changing by the second. All right, I'll get this meandering replay posted shortly. When that'll be that. There's your sixth proprietary buy signal. When I say let's do the synthetic stock brief, that's when I think we're going to turn around. Does that make sense? Thank you, Marilyn. I appreciate that. I will, Jim. I'm going to go relax. Have a great rewatch. You got it. All right, guys. Have a great rest of your night. Happy hunting. Happy hunting, man. We're doing some good hunting. Make sure you're hedged in case this thing does take another leg down. And God bless. God bless all of us. And God bless the United States of America. Good night. I'll see you guys tomorrow.